G'day Geeks, my name is Chris and in this video we are talking about a whole bunch of Batman figures. So this is the complete wave from McFarlane Toys of the Batman Forever figures. Remember that film starring Val Kilmer and Chris O'Donnell, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey's the Riddler. It's one of my guilty pleasures, so we're talking about the complete wave plus the builder figure that it comes with. And I'm also going to be talking about the Azrael Batman figure from the 1990s comics. So this is a Batman bonanza of figures. I'm very excited to crack these open and see what they're all about. So let's check out a whole assortment of Batman figures. When McFarlane Toys released the Batman and Robin wave of figures, you know, that was the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. You're not taking me to the cooler. Everyone was hoping that he would release the figures for Batman Forever, which was the 1995 film, also directed by Joel Schumacher. And Batman Forever is one of my guilty pleasures. I've watched the film a few times. Very clearly a departure from the 1989 Batman and 1992 Batman Returns, starring Michael Keaton as Batman, and both directed by Tim Burton. So it's more campy, more neon glowed, lots of, you know, colours and all that kind of stuff flashing around, a lot more kind of attempted humour, and doesn't take itself too seriously. But I kind of enjoy the film, and it came out at a time when I was right into the Batman and DC comics in particular. So seeing all of these characters on the big screen for the first time, a lot of them, was very exciting. So yes, this is the first set of figures from Batman Forever, and if you collect all four of them, you can actually build a Nightmare Bat. So if you flick over the back of the packaging, you'll see that it has this bat, and you might be thinking, I don't remember seeing this big bat figure in Batman Forever, but it's actually one of the deleted scenes where Bruce Wayne has a vision and he sees this big bat flying towards him. So that's what this complete set of figures will build, this Nightmare Bat, which is pretty impressive, I'm hoping, once it's all put together. So let's open up these four figures and see them individually. Here's all the stuff that the Val Kilmer Batman Forever fig comes with. It comes with the stand that the figures can stand on with the DC logo, which all McFarlane Toys from DC come with, which is awesome. It also comes with a collector card, again, which all McFarlane Toys come with. So this is the promo picture from the Batman Forever poster, and you flip it over. It's got a bit of a summary of the Batman Forever plot. Also comes with a couple of different hands, so you can swap out and give him a couple of different holding hands, apart from the fists that he has plugged in at the moment. He also has a couple of batarangs and the like grappling gun kind of thing, and a smaller batarang which he uses in the film. This is the larger stand for the actual builder figure Nightmare Bat, and this is the head of the Nightmare Bat with an articulated jaw. Look at that, it's pretty cool, and it's a pretty detailed Nightmare Bat head, and that's the stand to go onto the bat. So the figure itself is pretty detailed. You can see it's a pretty good likeness of Val Kilmer there, and the suit is very accurate to the movie. It's a bit odd that his gloves, mask, cowl and boots are black, whereas the rest of them is this kind of blue colour. But there was a Batman movie 6-pack released last year which had the more kind of movie accurate colours, so this is a slight variation of that. Very detailed, much like the movie. Comes with a cloth cape, and yeah, it's pretty accurate, pretty detailed, pretty articulated, so we can get into all sorts of poses. Take the stand off, and yeah, I really like this figure. Not bad at all, not bad. So yeah, he comes with a bunch of stuff. So that's Val Kilmer Batman. Here is Robin, as portrayed by Chris O'Donnell in the film. This is the file card that he comes with, and the wonderful photo from the poster. It's got the exact same plot detail of the Batman figure, and I'm assuming the Riddler and Two-Face will have the same as well. You can see their real name, Dick Grayson, which is true. So Dick Grayson is the first Robin, but he's actually wearing the costume of Tim Drake, the third Robin. The second Robin, Jason Todd, died, by the way, but he got better. He came back to life, now known as the Red Hood. But I was very excited when I saw the trailer for this film to see that he was wearing my favourite costume. So Tim Drake, the third Robin, is the Robin that I grew up with reading in the 1990s. So yeah, this is a pretty faithful to the film and relatively faithful to the colours and design of the Tim Drake costume in the comics as well. You can see that he comes with a couple of holding hands, a splayed out hand and a pointing hand when he gets angry and shouts at Batman and stuff. And he comes with the Build-A-Figure Nightmare Bat Wing, and you can tell how big this thing is going to be when I put it all together. But look at the texture and the details of this. It is pretty cool. So the other thing that this wonderfully detailed, movie accurate figure comes with is a wired cape. So there's got a wire inside. You can pose it for some windblown effects to make him look even more dramatic. So the Batman figure doesn't have this, but he does come with more accessories. So even though Robin comes with less accessories, which is pretty much the hands, he doesn't come with any weapons. He does come with the wired cloth cape, which is pretty awesome. So I'm hoping to get some good shots from this. So yes, I remember when the trailer for Batman Forever first came out, there was a cinema near me, near where I was studying in Fremantle at the time, and I used to watch the trailer all the time, and every time Robin showed up at the end of the trailer, I was like, oh yes, very excited. Finally get to see my favourite version of Robin, or at least his costume on the big screen for the first time. The Riddler, portrayed by Jim Carrey in a red wig, fancy loafers, and a skin-tight green costume with question marks all over it. He comes with his cane. Pretty good facial expression of Jim Carrey. He looks dastardly and hilarious. A very over-the-top performance in the film itself. But yes, there was other people in the execs' minds, such as Robin Williams and John Malkovich, to play the Riddler, but I think Jim Carrey was a pretty cool choice. I mean, none of these characters resemble their comic counterparts, really. I mean, they're all just kind of ridiculous and over the top, in keeping with the theme of the film, really. So he comes with a couple of hands, comes with this file card, same plot summary on the back, a couple of hands, as I said, and the little bat bomb which he uses to destroy the bat cave, and the hefty body of the bat. So yeah, Jim Carrey's Riddler has probably got the most quotable lines in the film. And yeah, it's certainly a bold performance, but the whole film is bold. But yes, very skinny. It's incredibly light compared to all the other figures, but that's because Jim Carrey lost a lot of weight to kind of in real life to get into this skin-tight outfit. So there's one more bad guy to look at, and that's Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Finally, Two-Face, otherwise known as District Attorney of Gotham, Harvey Dent, as portrayed by Tommy Lee Jones. The same character was played by Billy D. Williams in the 1989 Batman film, with the kind of goal of turning into Two-Face at a future film, but Billy D. Williams wasn't asked to come back in Batman Forever, so here we have Tommy Lee Jones, who was initially apparently reluctant to take on the role, but his son, being a Batman fan, convinced him to. So, I mean, wonderful costumes of Two-Face and the gruesome visage. I mean, very detailed. A very articulated figure, just like all the rest are. I mean, he does have the kind of suit, but that doesn't really get in the way of his articulation. He kind of moves out of the way, so it's not too stiff. He comes with a card, a couple of extra hands, and the big bat wing. You'll notice that he has a pistol hand, but no pistol. In fact, no DC Comics action figures produced by McFarlane Toys have guns. That's a relatively recent development. The DC don't allow the action figures to come with guns, but they have no problem giving them, you know, knives and samurai swords and crowbars and baseball bats, but no guns. But McFarlane Toys always gives their figures, you know, trigger hands anyway, and so you can use guns if you want from other figures. So this is a pretty awesome figure, very detailed like the rest. I mean, the creases in the fabric and all that kind of stuff, very detailed. All of these characters have multiple costume changes. It's like being at a Lady Gaga concert. There's just multiple costume and wardrobe changes throughout the film, but this is the one that probably is most well known for. I mean, it's always kind of weird that it's an exact line acid splashes in his face, and it's like a perfect symmetrical line. Whereas in the comics and other films, that is not the case. But he carries that symmetry through for the rest of his body and his costumes. So there we go, Tommy Lee Jones. It's Two-Face, who famously did not get along at all with Jim Carrey's the regular Riddler during the making of the film. Before I build the Nightmare Bat of the Batman Forever figures, I just want to have a quick look at this Azrael Batman armor from Batman Knightsend storyline. So there was Nightfall, Night Quest, and then Knightsend. That was a DC Comics story which ran for about a year and a half. I think it was DC Comics' longest running story. It might still be, actually, which followed in the wake of the death of Superman. This is the famous story where Bruce Wayne got his back broken by Bane, and then this character here, Jean-Paul Valley, replaced Batman and went crazy and made this armor and went around hunting criminals and killing them and all that kind of stuff. So it was very much of its time, very 90s, but I loved it. I was knee deep in the Batman and DC Comics at this time. So this is the red version of Azrael Batman armor. There's also the Chase blue version, also made by McFarlane Toys. So the red version is the more popular, but you don't have any pick. Being a Chase blue version, you're just up to luck and up to chance if you get that blue version. But I actually prefer the red version. He wore both the blue and the red version in the comics, and as you can see, he's all armored up, ready to do justice and take no prisoners. Out of the box, and the Azrael Batman armor, it's very detailed. He only comes with closed fists, which is a bit of a shame. He doesn't come with any accessories, but the detail of this figure more than makes up for it. He also comes with the all too familiar DC figure stand and the data kind of file collector card, which tells you a bit about who Jean-Paul Valley is in his tenure as a replacement Batman. You'll also see in the background he comes with, no, they're not Wolverine claws, they're 6 little wings to go on the back of his mechanized Batman armor suit. So let's throw those on and see how menacing he's going to look. And does he look menacing? For sure. Very 90s. It's a bit of a joke in 90s comics that there's always pouches and spikes and claws on every costume to make them all edgy and extreme and tough. Azrael certainly fits that bill. But very detailed. All the golds and the reds, all that kind of stuff. These wings don't really move. There's no articulation. They just kind of clip in place at the top there. And they don't go anywhere after that. But yes, there's nothing really gets in the way. He's still very articulated. His head twists up and down, his legs move, all that kind of stuff. Bit of an ab crunch of sorts. He can move up and down, do his sit-ups, and he's got the little Gatling gun kind of shuriken firing thing. Yes, very, very 90s, very edgy, very extreme, very Batman of the 90s. So I really like this figure. I'm actually glad I got the red version. I think I prefer it. I do have another version of this figure, which I will throw up for a bit of comparing. So the same character, Azrael, Jean-Paul Valley, the Nightfall costume on the left, and the more souped up, amped up, modified version of Knightsend on the right. One more comparison. This is the 1995 Knightsend Batman with aerial torpedo launcher from 1995, so not long after the actual Knightsend Nightfall Night Quest series finished in the comics, and you can see that it more closely resembles the costume on the right rather than the left. It's also much like figures did back in the day, had a checklist on the back and a bit of a bio as well, which action figures don't really do much anymore. So there's the version of Knightsend Batman and all the other figures you can get from this line, including the Night Quest Batman, which is a bit more closer to the one on the left there. So yes, 3 different versions of the Jean-Paul Valley temporary Batman version. Once you buy all 4 figures, you get the Nightmare Bat, which you can build. The back of the box shows you how to put it together, but I I think it's pretty obvious. Look at this thing. What a beast, literally. So it snaps all together pretty easily. Comes with a bigger stand than the figures do. And it's got a little pivot point, I guess. So it can kind of go straight or tilt, go back, go forward, and the stand holds it up pretty well. The wings can move as well. The head can do that, and he's got the glowing red eyes just like he does in the deleted scene in the film, and his mouth open. So very detailed, very leathery. It could be almost a film version of a Man-Bat figure, if you like, classic Batman villain that hasn't seen the light of day on the big screen as yet. Doesn't this look awesome? All 4 figures from the Batman Forever wave from McFarlane Toys all lined up like this with the huge Nightmare Bat in the background. I remember what a big deal this film was when it first came out. The merchandising as well. You might recall the collectible glasses that McDonald's had. They're still pretty easy to find these days. I've only got 2 of the 4, but I do like this film so much that in fact I've got a small shelf dedicated to just Batman Forever in my toy room with, you know, some of the trading cards and the figures and promotional material that this film came with. So yes, let me know what you think. Did you enjoy Batman Forever, or was it like, that's not my Batman at all? Did you enjoy the soundtrack? The soundtrack was also pretty huge. Had songs from Seal, Kiss from a Rose, you may remember that. U2 had a song. I remember those 2 songs in particular because the music video showed clips from the film, and they're like little trailers. That was before the internet, where it was hard to get behind the scenes information on films back in the day. So stuff like that was really eye-opening and a bit of a portal into what the film was going to be. So here we go, the complete set of Batman Forever figures. McFarlane Toys will also be releasing the Batmobile from Batman Forever this year as well. Let me know what you think. Did you like the film? Did you not like it? Are you going to pick out these figures? So yes, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye, geeks.